I would say you have to upgrade yourself. You have to adapt the modification of this language because the more you are going to shape your spoken English, you sound more and more fluent. Hello, Tanuja. How are you doing today?
Yes, I'm fantastic. Thank you for asking. How about you?
Yes, I'm pretty well, doing fantastic in my life by the grace of Almighty God. Thank you for your kind concern.
Okay, so this is our first session, so I would like to know a little bit about you.
Sure, I would be more than happy to tell about myself. Well, my name is Shiv, and I born and brought up in India only. My state name is Uttarakhand. I'm a central government employee, and I'm done with my master in English, master in commerce, and this year I'm pursuing my master in economics. This is my final year. In addition to this, I do teach English through online applications and through my own YouTube channel. And my YouTube channel name is English with Teacher Shiv. So this is all from my side. If you have anything to ask, feel free to ask.
Okay, so you are doing so many things. Like you are a teacher, you are a government employee as well, and yes, there are so many things.
Yeah, I'm trying to manage, so let's see. And what about you? Would you mind if you tell me something about yourself in brief?
Yes, sure. My name is Tanuja, and I'm from Bhopal city. If I'll talk about my education, so I have done engineering in IT stream, and currently I'm a working professional in one of the software company, and simultaneously I'm also running my YouTube, and yeah, that's all about me.
Wow, that's really great. In fact, I must say you are also a jack of all trades, trying to be multifunctional and multi-skilled. That's really nice.
Yes.
Yeah. Tanuja, if you have anything to ask, you can ask from your side, and I would be the ans I'll give the answer.
Okay, so my first question is about your English. Like, how did you learn, and like when did you started learning this language, and who motivated you to learn, basically?
Well, it's been more than 3.5 years I've been speaking English. I started my journey of learning this language 3 years back, and I started from scratches. I mean to say from zero,
Hmm.
because I did my schooling from my own native language, Hindi, and in my initial days, I was completely zero. I wasn't able to speak English as I'm speaking right now. I wasn't able to introduce myself in English, and then I have decided like I have to practice and I have to learn this language anyhow at any cost. From there, I started doing practice day and night, and I started following some tips and tricks from my side in order to master this language. So I will usually say that if you want to learn this language, all you have to do is you have to just consider this thing in your mind that we all are Indians and English is not our native language. So while learning this language, if you are making any mistake or we are fumbling and stammering, we should not feel ashamed about it. We should
Hmm.
not expect the same level of perfection as native speaker have. So this is the first thing.
Yes.
Second thing, before starting a journey of learning this language, one must has to ask one question to himself that why I'm trying to learn this language. What is the reason I do have in my pocket and one powerful reason that made me to learn this language. If you have a strong reason, I'm damn sure you can master this language very easily.
Hmm.
Now, third thing is that vocabulary plays a very imperative role in one's spoken English. If you have sufficient amount of vocabs in your brain, you can play with this language, which means like you can manifest your ideas and express your thoughts in such a beautiful and amazing way. So just try to learn at least one or two vocabulary in daily basis and incorporate the same lexicons in your day-to-day routine spoken English.
Okay.
Now, step number fourth is don't obsess with grammar rules in initial stage. It means whatever grammar you know, just start from those grammar rules and focus on your flow and confidence first. The moment you are going to reach on that level where you can talk in English with anyone around the world without any hesitation and shyness, then after you can work on your accuracy, which means in grammar. Now, next point is do practice every single day. Without practice, you can't learn this language. And to practice on a regular basis is must. Today you are practicing, tomorrow you have some function and equation and you are not doing practice. That doesn't make any sense. If
Mhm.
you are busy, at least try for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 50 minutes, depends on your feasibility, but find time for yourself in order to get touch with this language on a daily basis. Right.
Mhm.
Now, next thing I would say, love your mistakes. We usually make mistake because we are beginner and this is not our native language. So we should not afraid of making a mistake. We should not think about it like if I'll speak in English and I'll make mistake, people are going to laugh at me and they're going to still insult me. We need to understand that we all are here for ourselves. We are here for learning, and we are human beings. We are not God, and human beings are allowed to make mistake. Identify your mistake, accept it, find the best way to correct it, and I'm damn sure one day you are going to speak English as a flawless speaker. Now, next point is English speaking environment. Unluckily, I didn't had that environment in my journey because, as I said, I'm from rural area, so there was no one with whom I can speak English. But with the help of your online application and YouTube, I started learning this language. So try to create an English speaking environment around you, which means try to talk with your parents, with your siblings, your friends, office mates, people who are living around you in English. The more you fall in love with this language, the more you are going to acquainted with this language, you are going to acquire it in a very easy mode. Right.
Yes.
Now, next is LRWS. I hope you heard about it. Listening, reading, writing, and speaking. These are four modules of English. Try to listen podcasts, web series, audiobooks, and good speaker of English like our native speaker teachers. Try to read at least one page in one day. And read aloud will allow you to improve your pronunciation, and you are going to come across with different vocabularies that you can use in your spoken English. Writing, when I'm saying writing, it simply means you have to write journal, whatever you love to write. It's your diary about an incident or story writing, whatever you love to write about, go for it and try to write on a daily basis because writing will improve your thinking English power and your grammar as well. Now, next is evaluation. It means you have to monitor your journey, like the tips and tricks which you are following and the strategies you have made for yourself in order to
Mhm.
master this language. All they working or not? If it is going on right direction, keep going. But if there is any deviation or variation, the result you are expecting from your side and the result you are getting. So you have to change your techniques and tactics to hold and get command on this language. Right. Now, last but not least, and very indispensable, English is just a language. It's not a rocket science. So,
Mhm.
being Indian, if I can speak English, you guys can speak far better than me. The only thing you need to keep in accounting is you have to keep patience. You have to enjoy the process of your learning. You have to take it as a fun, not burden. You have to be dedicated, passionate about your learning. And most important part, do your homework. You have been asking this syntax from many people for last few years, but still you are not ready to work on it. So
Mhm.
until unless you are not going to implement those tips and tricks, you are not going to master this language. So do your homework, challenge yourself, believe on yourself, be confident, and just learn this language. I'm damn sure you are going to become the masterpiece of yourself and the best version for yourself one day for sure. I'm done.
Yes, yes, and absolutely, you have explained in a very beautifully manner. And yeah, as you mentioned, so many things, and I already believe on all such things. Like first, we should decide why we are learning this language. So once you have particular realistic
True.
goal in your life, so you can work for those things. So this is totally
Exactly.
true. And yeah, always try to evaluate yourself, then you will get a result. Because I have listened this kind of complaint from so many people. Like they say, why I'm not improving, even I am doing so many efforts for learning this language and so many things I'm doing on the regular basis. So just try to evaluate yourself, and whatever, if something is not working in your way, because everybody will give you the different kind of suggestion. But if you are applying those things and it is not working for you, so you should move to another thing. So that is the way.
Great.
Yes, you are absolutely right. I agree on this.
Yeah, thanks. And if you have any more question that you want to ask me, you can ask. Because after that, I'm going to ask question. Do you have anything in your mind that you want to ask?
Yes, I have one question. Like, you are speaking so well now. So I have one question. Like, for example, person is already intermediate level. They know English. They are able to speak. How they can come from intermediate to advanced level? So is there any suggestion from your side?
Yeah, sure. Well, when it comes to you have to transform yourself from intermediate to advanced level, of course, you need to put an extra effort. You need
Yes.
to develop so many things in your spoken English. In short, I would say you have to upgrade yourself. You have to adapt the modification of this language because the more you are going to shape your spoken English, you sound more and more fluent. Right. So when I'm
Mhm.
saying advanced speaker, what you have to do, rule number one, you have to speak but slowly. Speaking too much fast doesn't mean that you are a very advanced speaker. No. Understand the psychology of this language. Like this is a language. It's not a tool to speed up your conversation. No. It's a language. If you are not understandable to the person to whom you are talking, you are going to lose the beauty of this language. So, first of all, speak slowly. Now, second thing is take proper pauses. I've seen many times, sometimes people speak like a machine, robot. It feels me that I'm talking to AI. So,
Yes.
don't be robotic. Try to take some pauses. Bullet train is not going anywhere, and you're not get racing with our Shatabdi Express, right?
Mhm. Yes.
Take proper pause, and that's how you are going to avoid your failures as well. Because I've seen many times people usually use, like okay, actually, and there are so many failures, so you can avoid those failures as well. Now, third thing is your advanced vocabulary. I would say you are looking beautiful, but without, like, in spite of beautiful, I can say you are looking gorgeous, stunning, bulky tuttiness, aesthetic, ravishing, magnificent, remarkable, appealing, and elegant and charming. And there are so many words. Like I have more than 50 words for beautiful only.
Mhm.
So you have to replace your vocabularies. Just try to use some advanced vocabs. But when I'm saying advanced, doesn't mean you have to use jargons. No, the words which you are using, you have to use according to the level of speaker to whom you're talking. If you feel that this is an advanced speaker, I must use some advanced vocabs. That makes some sense, right?
Yes.
Now, rule number fourth is intonation. When you speak English, so you have to use intonation. What is intonation all about? Intonation is nothing but it's fall and rise in your voice. According to the content, emotion, situation, audience you have to use your intonation. You have to speak a bit louder. Sometimes you have to speak a bit less. You have to just work on your voice according to the content you are speaking. Right. Now,
Mhm.
next one is, of course, you can't even avoid grammar. You have to master grammar rules. I'm not talking about those written grammar rules, but grammar which is required in terms of spoken English. Sometimes people make mistake because no one is there around the world who is using all the grammar rules. But still, when you're speaking, make sure that you are not going to commit a blunder. Minor mistakes are accepted, but not major. That anyone can easily highlight. All right.
Yes.
Now, next one is you have to work on your voice modulation. It means you have to include your feelings and emotion while talking to someone. If you're feeling sad, so that sadness should be reflected in your voice. If you're being excited, that excitement should be reflected in your voice.
Mhm.
If you're speaking like a public speaker, a motivational speaker, so there should be a deal and jest in your voice. There should be a fire that burn people, right? So you need to develop your voice modulation. Now, Last but not least, if it is possible for anyone, I would not prefer this one, but it depends on individual. If you can learn our accent, it's not compulsory that you have to learn only American or British accent. You can learn Canadian, Australian, and depend on you. But I want you to just master your own neutral accent. Means when you are speaking, you should speak English in a neutral way. Like no one can easily identify like which part of India belongs to. You are from Punjab, from southern part of India, from eastern part of India, from northern part of India. You can easily find the people who are from Jammu and Kashmir, the way they talk, the people who are from eastern part of India, the way they talk, they have some MTI. That MTI should not reflect in your spoken English. So these are some attributes or some tips and tricks that one can follow in order to switch the level of intermediate to
Hmm.
become an advanced speaker of English. Yeah, over to you.
Yes. And yeah, it is really a great suggestion that I was looking for. And yeah, I really appreciate your suggestion for this thing.
Thank you. I would say we all are seeking for suggestions, advice, tips and tricks. But
Hmm.
as I said before, we are not even ready to work on it. I must suggest to everyone if you want to master this language,
Hmm.
just try to connect yourself with this language first.
Yes.
Try to get familiar with this language first. Try to fall in love with this language first.
Hmm.
Until unless you are not going to make a great collaboration of the words which you want to speak, the content you have in your mind with your soul, you are not able to speak English as you want to speak. And never try to pretend yourself that, yes, you are speaking English. It should not be the benchmark, the tagline of your personality that you want to show people that you are from any rich family or from any English speaking family. No, it should not like that. It
Hmm.
should be like a language, means a language which works to avoid the barrier and impediments between two people having different languages. So your articulation, your expression, the way you are going to connect with people with the help of this language will decide how much good you are in this language. Because I've seen many people, they have so many degrees, they have so many courses, they pass their schooling and their college as well from English. But when
Hmm.
it comes to speaking, they start shivering, stammering, and fumbling. Why? Because they haven't practiced in this way.
Yes.
So the way you practice will change your dignity and identity in terms of this language.
Yes. I agree.
Yeah.
Now you can
So
ask.
do you have any? Okay. So let me ask one question to you. Very simple question.
Hmm.
What about you? What do you think? Like the way you are speaking and like the person who wants to learn English, what are the tips and tricks you can suggest to my viewers who is eagerly waiting for some golden magical tips and tricks in order to master this language? So, can you suggest some tips and tricks from your side?
Okay, so as per my experience, I would say that they should listen English content. So it can be related to their interest also or their level. For example, if someone is beginner, so they can start with like basic stories and conversation. They can use this kind of videos and try to imitate those kind of sentence by your own. So that would be very helpful for them. And if we are already intermediate, so I would suggest that they can go on advanced conversation or maybe podcast and this kind of interviews so that they can get new words, new vocab every day. This would be very helpful to enhance your pronunciation as well, and you will get new vocab. So yeah, first thing is listening, that I'm doing it. And the other than that, speaking, try to speak every day. Like I'm also doing the same thing. For example, if I don't have any partner, so I just try to speak with myself only, whether it is related to my household things or maybe like my daily routine and everything. I just try to narrate the whole story by my own, and I try to speak aloud. uh, it's no matter that sometimes I am even like in front of camera or not. I just try to speak aloud. People will think about that she got crazy, but yeah, I just try to do this activity. So according to me, these two technique they can do to enhance their communication skills. And yeah, one more thing, as you had also mentioned that if you have particular goal, why are you learning this language? So you will definitely work for those. Like I was also the same person. I had no idea how to speak English because I have also done my schooling and college in Hindi medium. And when I joined my company, so that time only I got this environment to speak in English because I connect with foreign clients. So I was hesitating a lot while talking with them. So I thought if I have to survive here, so anyhow I have to work on myself. So I got the goal also, like yes, why I'm learning this language. So I started working on myself, and yeah, because of practice, daily practice, I'm here. And yeah, still I need to work more and more. But yes, I can suggest this thing.
Wow, that's really a marvelous and magnificent steps that you have been sharing with me, along with my views. And the way you articulated every single point, it's literally phenomenal and remarkable. Thanks from your side.
Thank you so much.
If you have anything to ask me, you can ask, sir. If not, sir, I can wind up the call.
I must say that your video would be very helpful for all the learners because I have seen and I have heard so many suggestions that from your side that is very authentic, and people if they are really they are just following all these steps, so they can definitely improve their communication. And yeah, thank you so much for your suggestion, and I will also apply in my conversation so that I can also improve.
Yeah, and this is how we can practice with each other. It's kind of exchange of thoughts, exchange of ideas, some steps like we have been following in our life. The more you talk with people, the better you can understand the diversity of thoughts they have in their mind. And this is how you are going to groom and evolve your spoken English to the level where you are looking for. All right.
Yes, yes,
Okay, so Tanuja, I think it's time to wrap up this call. I
yes.
have enjoyed this conversation. Thank you for finding time for myself, and in future we are going to talk again, right?
Yeah, I really enjoyed this session a lot and I learned a lot from you. And if I'll get the chance to connect with you again, definitely I would like to do. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Likewise. Thank you for being here. Bye bye. Take care.
Thank you. Bye bye.